Good afternoon. I'd like to deliver one copy of each of these to Dr. Perry Kendall, the Provincial Health Officer, and to... My name is Steve Satow. I am the president of the Stopsmartmeters.ca Society, and the purpose of this conference today is to deliver two documents that have recently been published that cast serious doubts on the safety of the radiation from smart meters. I have copies of my statement as well as copies of those documents that are available if you want one, hard copies. Once we've done my statement, there'll be two other statements read out by colleagues of mine within the Coalition for Stop Smart Meters. And again, they have copies of those as well. Once we've done those, there will be an opportunity to ask questions. And following the questions, we will be delivering the two documents to the Ministry of Health for Dr. Kendall for his reference. I would point out that Dr. Kendall and a representative from BC Hydro were invited to be here today but have declined. So anyway, my statement. Two new documents recently published cast serious doubts on the oft-repeated assertions of our Provincial Health Officer and BC Hydro that there are no health risks associated with the electromagnetic radiation emitted by smart meters. The first of these documents is a letter drafted by the American Academy of Environmental Medicine, an international organization based in Wichita, Kansas. In their letter addressed to the California Public Utilities Commission, dated January the 19th of this year, the board of the Academy called for, and I quote, an immediate moratorium on smart meter installation until these serious public health issues are resolved. Continuing with their installation would be extremely irresponsible, end quote. They also urged the commissioners of the California Public Utilities Commission to provide immediate relief for those requesting it and the restoration of the old analog meters. These are strong words from a group of medical professionals who are dedicated to the research and treatment of environmentally induced illnesses such as electrohypersensitivity. The second document is a report that was submitted to the Board of Supervisors of the County of Santa Cruz in California on January 24th of this year. This document includes a memorandum by the County Public Health Officer entitled Health Risks Associated with Smart Meters. The conclusions of this medical officer's report fly in the face of claims made by Dr. Kendall that there is no evidence to suggest that the radiation from smart meters is harmful. Among a list of damning observations, the report states, and I quote, meeting the current FCC guidelines only assures that one should not have heat damage from smart meter exposure. It says nothing about safety from the risks of many chronic diseases that the public is most concerned about, such as cancer, miscarriage, birth defects, semen quality, autoimmune disease, etc. Therefore, when it comes to non-thermal effects of radiofrequency radiation, FCC guidelines are irrelevant and cannot be used for any claim of smart meter safety unless heat damage is involved, end quote. The FCC guidelines referred to in that report, for all intents and purposes, are identical to Health Canada's Safety Code 6, and it behooves me to point out that our Provincial Health Officer and BC Hydro are basing their entire defense of smart meter safety on the guidelines set out in Safety Code 6. So, if anyone claims that there are no scientific studies showing harm, they are either lying or, at best, deliberately ignoring the evidence. Consequently, I would like to pose some questions to Dr. Kendall. Firstly, how long are you going to continue sticking your head in the sand in an attempt to ignore the growing, serious, and highly credible body of evidence that clearly indicates that the radiation from smart meters is potentially harmful? Secondly, when are you going to live up to your sworn responsibility as a doctor to act in the best interest of the public that you are supposed to be protecting from harm? And lastly, when will you finally acknowledge that you, the official guardian of public safety in the province, need to apply the precautionary principle rather than dance to the tune of your ministerial masters? By the way, as I mentioned earlier, both Dr. Perry Kendall and BC Hydro's Vancouver Island spokesperson, Ted Olnick, were invited to attend this conference but have failed to show up. So, contrary to what BC Hydro would have us believe, every opinion poll that I have seen shows that the public are, on average, 80% against this program. But once again, hard on the heels of the ill-conceived and much-hated HST fiasco, we, the people of British Columbia, are being treated with complete disdain by our government and by the government agencies that are supposed to serve and protect us. So, in closing, I want to call on everyone in the province to take action. Protect your old analog meter and write to or call BC Hydro telling them that you do not give them consent to install these dangerous and illegitimate devices on your homes and businesses. BC Hydro has clearly stated publicly that there will be no retribution against people who refuse consent. So you do not need to fear being arbitrarily cut off or pressurized into accepting smart meters. And finally, add your name to the growing list of people on the website at Stopsmartmeters.ca in order to send a clear message that you are willing to protect your health, your safety, and the democracy of our province. Thank you.
Can I just ask, what is your...
Can we hold the questions till the other two statements and then have them all together? Would that be okay? Or if there's one? Okay. Two questions? Okay.
What is your primary concern? What's your biggest concern about smart meters?
Well, that's actually a very long list. Health is just one issue and the focus of this conference. We have issues around the cost of the program, against privacy, invasion of privacy, data security, human rights and health issues. So actually there's numerous things that we should be concerned about. And BC Hydro, in the information that they're giving out in their $8 million advertising campaign, are providing highly exaggerated, inaccurate, and in some cases, categorically untrue statements.
What about BC Hydro's claim that the frequencies will only be used about 2 or 3 seconds a day?
Well, BC Hydro has made this oft-repeated claim that 20 years of smart meter radiation is only equivalent to 30 minutes of a cell phone. Well, I don't care whether it's 30 years of cell phone or 30 minutes or 30 seconds if we knew that this radiation was safe. But the reports that exist clearly show that radiation emitted by these meters is not safe. And until we know what levels it is safe, we should be adopting the precautionary principle, which is obviously not being done by the Provincial Health Officer or by BC Hydro.
So you're still worried about 2 or 3 seconds a day?
It's not 2 or 3 seconds. That may be the average accumulated amount of the signals being sent back to BC Hydro, but all of the meters are talking to each other constantly during the day, and it is a continuous pulsed radiation. And medical reports show that is very harmful.